Welcome back to the
Welcome back to the KIMI KATO
Kimmy
show.
You guys
Kato.
get a point apiece.
Well, you need to do it in unison, Kimmy. We got to get that down. We got to get
Yeah.
our timing down.
I
Do
love
it in
it.
unison.
I love it.
Before you introduce the song, Kimmy, if I may, I'd like to jump in on the compliment game here that we're playing with a true, heartfelt compliment to Jeff here, your very special guest. What he said before the break was so, Jeff, you're beautiful, man. In all ways, the way you live, the way you, as Kimmy said at the break, the what you represent is what I think Kimmy and I are, me as a passenger, trying to capture on this show is that beauty and inspiration and empathy and what we can learn from each other. And man, I got to say it one more time. You're beautiful. That was
Thank you.
really a beautiful last segment.
I do appreciate that. Thanks so much. I'm always working on it because physically, sure. I mean, we have beauty products that we can use. We can, sea moss and algae, and we can take all these great supplements to make us look all vibrant. But I really think that, without any of that stuff, you can work on your soul, like really polish your soul and polish your intellect and polish who you are on a daily basis. And if that's what you felt is beautiful, then I feel really, really blessed that you feel that way because I work really hard at it. Thank you, Jeremiah.
100%.
Thank you. You inspired me.
I love
Inspired me.
I do.
So-
You definitely inspired me again.
Yeah.
Again and again.
Oh, well, speaking of inspiring, what the music we're listening to right now, Kimmy.
Yeah. So we went away with "I Love You" by Chris Hart, and then we just came back with 20 Years Old by One O'Clock or One OK Rock.
Yeah.
So how did that happen with One O'Clock?
One OK Rock. Wow, this is actually from one of their earliest albums. I think this is like 2008. And yeah, I got an offer to help produce the album and some of the songs and write with Taka. And he's absolutely stunning as an artist. And of course, what a massive voice as well too. What an amazing performing rock star. I mean, really, he does embody everything what it means to be a rock star, not only in Japan, but I'm so happy to see how much that has transitioned over to the entire globe, and especially here in the US as well, right? Yeah, the song's 20 years old, and I think that this was kind of like, what do you call it? Fushime? Kind of like a
the turning point.
like a turning point milestone for him as well too, as he crosses over from becoming an adolescent to an adult. And I think you can really feel all the emotions, the angst, but also the hope in the song, And please, thank you for playing that.
Oh no, thank you for producing this great song.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's probably before Taka moved to LA.
Oh, way before.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
way before.
Oh wow, look at that. I mean, So One OK Rock is definitely one of the top rock bands in Japan.
Yeah.
They have been touring internationally as well, but more so, I mean, he is one of the top singer. Taka is definitely one of the top singers in Japan. I was, so impressed when Jeff brought the best out of him as well on this song. I would have loved to be in the studio with him, or with them actually, with you and Jeff. With Jeff and Taka, to see how that turned out, and
he actually got kind of pissed at me because I kept taking so long. I didn't let him leave the studio immediately after a few takes because I knew I just kept having to push him harder and harder because I knew of his potentials. And thanks, Taka, for being patient with me at that time. Yeah,
I'm sure he appreciates it. The outcome has been great.
Yeah.
So and then you went on to write K-pop songs as well. Then
that's right.
That was another turning point.
That was another turning point. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel so blessed. As I said, I was born here in LA to Korean and Japanese parents, and I was always confused. I actually didn't speak that much Japanese before I went to Japan. And being in Japan, living in Japan, and then also deciding that I wanted to become a music producer really helped me commit to learning both the Japanese language as well as the Korean language. However, back in like the late 90s and early 2000s, like being Korean wasn't a thing that you would openly talk about, right? I think there were like cultural stigmas where people, even though they were of Korean descent, would not openly say that they're either half Korean or they are Korean. And in fact, it was considered to be, I guess, taboo a lot of times in the entertainment industry. Not sure why, but every country, every culture's got its interesting heritage as well too. But thanks to K-pop and even before that, K-dramas that really started popping off in the 2000s, they brought this massive wave of the Korean story, the Korean journey, Korean aesthetic, the stories of love, the stories of loss, excitement, the stories, visually exciting as well too, with literally like the superheroes of the music industry doing acrobatics on stage, singing as well as real physical dancing as well too. And it was at that point that I said, oh my God, this is finally a really great opportunity for me to fulfill and live my complete identity. Because now I can say, yes, I'm Japanese, but also I'm Korean, and I can speak both, and I can produce in both as well too. And I was that guy they called. They said, hey, Jeff, we only have like 20 hours in Seoul. We need to record 9 members. And it was, of course, it was a universal as well too with Girls' Generation. It used to take 3-4 days, and I could do it in an hour and a half per singer. It just because it was fast. Again, I'm not a director. I'm not just an engineer. I'm not just a producer. I'm just kind of like one combined single unit that could do everything at that time. And it was just so exciting to really live myself and express myself and study as well too. But the sheer volume of music that we put out at that time, there's literally, if you check out my Spotify later, I think there's like hundreds of songs, K-pop, Girls' Generation, SHINee, EXO, NCT, BoA, oh my God, you name it, FX, Red Velvet, so many. But it really, again, it wasn't just the K-pop, it was for me at the end of the day. And I'm getting lost. What were we talking about?
Oh, no, just keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
I love it. I love what you're saying.
And yeah, so this is around the same time in my career that I started focusing on not songwriting, but strictly producing, right? And it was so exciting because for me, I kind of really like safeguarded my producing because I think I'm a better producer than I am a songwriter, but I gatekeep that for people that would only have my songs, my melodies. But the second that I opened that up and I said, you know what, take the songwriting aside, I will just focus on being a producer, is when I was able to really, really come into myself as a musician as well too, because at this point we have hundreds and thousands of songwriters from all around the world, Denmark, Sweden, the US, Canada, Korea, like everywhere in the world sending us music, and they would entrust all of their songs and all the tracks and all the multi-files with us. We would record the artists and we put it out to millions and tens and hundreds of millions of screaming fans. And it was that time that I said, oh my God, I don't have to be the chef here in the kitchen. I'm just the guy that manages all the dishes. I'm the restaurateur of the hotel at that point. And that's what propelled me to the next stage of my career as well too, is now that not only do I get to work with my own personal ingredients as a musician, but now I've been exposed to so many different palettes of flavors, and styles and genres and articulations. And yeah, again, being a beginner instead of wearing the egotistical cap of being just a massive songwriter opened up more knowledge for me and more experience for me. Yeah.
Amazing story. Let's now listen to some of Jeff's work.
Sure.
Please introduce your Girls' Generation
Okay,
song.
got it. So this is a fun one. This is actually the last song from Girls' Generation, last single from Girls' Generation with all 9 members. And in fact, at least I recorded 9. YouTube might show you 8. If you're really good at finding, YouTube might show you 9. But here it is. Check it out. The song is by Girls' Generation. It's Catch Me If You Can.